third episode begins with another flashback that uncovers more of the mystery surrounding Charlotte's military mission. Daniel attends a memorial ceremony honoring Juan Alameda, one of the pilots who never returned from the disastrous bombing operation. After the ceremony, he approaches Juan's father, James Alameda, hoping to learn more about what really happened that day. James confirms many of the suspicions Helen had already raised. The pilots were forced to fly outdated aircraft equipped with old analog communication systems instead of secure modern equipment. Because those communications weren't encrypted, anyone could have intercepted and recorded every conversation that took place during the mission. James believes a recording of the pilot's final moments may still exist somewhere, but he has never searched for it. After losing his son, he wants to leave the past behind, and he clearly fears powerful people who may still be covering up the truth. His fear becomes obvious when Captain Henry, the officer connected to the mission, arrives at the ceremony. Meanwhile, Helen's investigation comes with serious consequences. Henry uses his influence to have her fired from her job, hoping to stop her from digging any deeper into the case. Instead of giving up, Helen continues her investigation on her own. She searches hidden corners of the internet and eventually discovers a man named Steve, who claims to possess the audio recording from the bombing mission. She even manages to track down his address. Daniel and Helen visit Steve at his rundown apartment. Before speaking with them, Steve confiscates their phones and secretly copies Daniel's congressional identification, ensuring he has leverage if things go wrong. At first, he refuses to reveal much, only confirming that the recording is genuine. However, when he realizes Charlotte is Daniel's sister, he finally hands over the tape. Listening to the recording is devastating. The voices of the pilots reveal the chaos unfolding inside their aircraft. They desperately try to understand why a strange black substance is spreading across their planes and causing every system to fail. One by one, they lose control while desperately calling for help. Neither Daniel nor Helen can explain what they are hearing, but the recording proves that the official story surrounding the mission cannot be trusted. Determined to uncover more answers, Daniel decides to return to Steve's apartment later so they can study the recording more carefully. He believes there may be hidden clues exposing what the military has been covering up for years. But when they arrive, they discover the apartment completely destroyed. Furniture has been smashed, belongings are scattered everywhere, and Steve has vanished without a trace. Whether he escaped before someone found him, or was kidnapped by those protecting the secret remains unknown. Back in the present inside the silo, Juliet secretly continues refusing the memory-suppressing medication she has been ordered to take. Instead of swallowing the pills, she quietly spits them out whenever no one is watching. Jerry keeps his promise not to constantly monitor her movements, believing she will cooperate. Juliet immediately uses that freedom to continue searching for Lucas. Elsewhere, Amy notices Juliet is no longer taking her medication and quickly reports it to Camille. Rather than confronting Juliet immediately, Camille decides to stay silent. She instructs Amy to continue delivering the pills as usual, so Juliet won't realize they have discovered her deception. At the same time, Shirley receives a secret message from Juliet asking for a meeting. Knox notices Shirley acting suspiciously and asks what the note contains. Wanting to protect Juliet, Shirley lies, claiming it only concerns repairs to the damaged stairwell. Knox senses she is hiding something, but Shirley leaves before he can press her further. Juliet's investigation soon leads her to Paul's apartment, though her real target is Kat. Juliet suspects Kat has connections to the outsiders after recognizing her during an earlier secret meeting and noticing an injury that links her to the helmet theft. Although Kat initially pretends to know nothing, Juliet's questions eventually force her to admit the truth. Kat insists that Lucas is almost certainly dead following the rebellion and claims Kennedy has gone into hiding. She also makes it clear that Paul has no involvement with the outsiders and knows nothing about their activities. Despite Juliet's persistent questioning, Kat refuses to reveal anything that could put the resistance in danger. While Juliet continues chasing leads, Camille meets once again with the mysterious algorithm. Their discussion centers on Juliet's refusal to take the memory drugs. Camille believes allowing Juliet to recover her memories could actually benefit Judicial. If Juliet remembers enough, she may unknowingly lead them straight to Lucas and Kennedy, allowing the authorities to eliminate the remaining resistance without resorting to drastic measures. The algorithm completely rejects that idea. It insists the memory protocol must proceed exactly as planned. Soon, the enhanced vitamin D solution will be released into the silo's water supply, wiping away painful memories across the population. According to the algorithm, if people forget the reasons behind past rebellions, they will never rise up again. It also warns Camille that refusing its orders could activate the terrifying safeguard protocol, forcing her to reluctantly continue following its instructions. Elsewhere in the silo, Paul and Sheila meet with Orla's worried parents, who are still desperately searching for their missing daughter. During the conversation, Sheila reveals that Orla had recently been acting unlike herself. She also uncovers another important detail. Orla had been responsible for delivering vitamin D plus supplies to filtration before she disappeared. Since rumors suggest the substance is being used for something far more sinister than nutritional supplements, Paul begins to suspect Orla may have discovered a dangerous secret. Sheila also mentions Orla's relationship with Mike Davidson, Glenda's former boyfriend, but that personal conflict may simply be a distraction from the real mystery. Still searching for Lucas, Juliet approaches Robert while he is dropping his son, Anthony, off at school. Robert immediately becomes defensive because Anthony still remembers the terrifying hostage situation Juliet caused before losing her memories. Juliet sincerely apologizes, explaining that she remembers none of those events and is only trying to understand who she used to be. She asks Robert what he knows about Lucas, believing he was the last person to see him before the rebellion. Unfortunately, Robert has very few answers. He admits he never understood Bernard and Lucas's secret work and has no idea where Lucas disappeared after the uprising. Frustrated that another lead has gone cold, Juliet leaves empty-handed. Robert, however, becomes increasingly worried that Juliet's return could place his family in danger again, so he takes Anthony with him to work where he believes the boy will be safer. When Camille learns about Juliet's visit, she speaks privately with Robert. Their conversation soon shifts from Juliet to something much more disturbing: the planned memory wipe. Robert fears Anthony could eventually forget his parents completely, while Camille coldly argues that forgetting may actually help him survive if circumstances ever force him to leave the silo. Her words reveal just how committed she has become to the algorithm's vision. Meanwhile, Juliet heads toward the Down Deep, determined to investigate the old Digger Void where she believes Lucas may have been searching for answers. Shirley notices what she's doing and tries to stop her, but Juliet simply climbs over the railing and rappels down several levels, showing flashes of the fearless engineer she once was before her memories were erased. Knox eventually catches up with her and explains that the Digger Void has already been sealed. Instead, he introduces her to Mark, a miner who knows every tunnel beneath the silo. Mark isn't thrilled to answer Juliet's questions, but before their conversation goes much further, Juliet realizes someone is following her. Working together, she and Knox manage to shake their pursuer before disappearing into another section of the silo. At the same time, Camille reviews Mark's file and discovers multiple accusations involving stolen machine parts and illegal contraband. She quickly concludes that Mark has likely helped Lucas hide inside the mines. Even worse, she believes Lucas may be attempting to dig a passage connecting Silo 18 with Silo 17. Camille immediately presents her theory to the algorithm. The system warns that if anyone creates a path between the silos, the entire facility could face catastrophic consequences. It orders Camille to make the mines inaccessible by any means necessary. Without hesitation, Camille instructs Chris to send a rat extermination team into the mines and release poisonous gas throughout the tunnels. Chris objects, warning that miners are still working below and many innocent people could die. Camille refuses to reconsider. If Lucas is hiding there, she believes sacrificing a few miners is an acceptable price. The plan quickly turns into a disaster. Toxic gas spreads through the underground tunnels, trapping workers before they can escape. As panic erupts, Juliet rushes into the mines wearing a gas mask, determined to rescue anyone still alive. She successfully reaches one unconscious miner, but after regaining consciousness, the terrified survivor steals Juliet's mask and abandons her inside the poisonous tunnels. As the gas overwhelms her, Juliet collapses. Just before she loses consciousness completely, Lucas suddenly appears. Risking his own life, he drags her to safety and carries her toward the exit. Their reunion is brief because Chris and the raiders immediately spot Lucas. Forced to flee once again, Lucas narrowly escapes capture thanks to Sandy and Danny, who arrive in time to pull him away before the raiders surround him. Outside the mines, rescue crews recover numerous victims overcome by the gas. Among them, Paul makes a shocking discovery. Orla is one of the injured miners. Whether she had been trapped there all along or deliberately kept hidden remains uncertain. But her appearance raises even more questions about what she uncovered before disappearing. The episode concludes inside the recovery ward, where Juliet remains unconscious after inhaling the poisonous gas. Amy prepares to continue administering the so-called vitamins, ensuring Juliet's returning memories are erased once again before she wakes up. The algorithm, however, proposes an even darker solution. It argues that Juliet herself has become the source of hope inside the silo. If she dies, and her death is blamed on the mining accident, that hope will disappear naturally. Without a symbol to rally behind, future rebellions may never begin, making a mass memory wipe unnecessary. Camille initially hesitates, but the algorithm reminds her of Juliet's past actions and insists that her relentless search for the truth threatens the silo's survival. After a long pause, Camille appears to accept the grim conclusion that Juliet must die. Whether she truly intends to kill Juliet or is secretly planning to protect her remains unclear. With Lucas still free alongside the outsiders, Juliet's fate now hangs in the balance as the episode comes to a tense and suspenseful end.